Hello, you're watching Ellie from Elementary Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. So it's a few days before Christmas and I've made a little gift that I'm going to drop off to a friend of mine on Christmas Eve. And I did actually mean to film myself making this for a video. Unfortunately, I got carried away and I made it before I realised what I'd done. But I'll just show you the what it looks like. So it's a little box like so. I put some ribbon on the base of the box itself, so out it comes, and you open up the flaps and you have 4 mini Ritter Sports. So I designed this myself because I just had in my mind I wanted to create something where you open the flaps and you have these 4 chocolates, and this is what I came up with. So as I say, this one is going to be a Christmas gift for someone, but I've got some birthdays coming up in January, so I thought I would recreate it with a birthday theme. So let me show you how I did it. So I'm starting with a piece of cardstock which measures 4 7/8 inches square. Now I'm going to place it in my trimmer and I'm going to score at 2 inches. Let's take my cutting line out of the way. I'm scoring at 2 inches and 2 7/8. Then I'm going to turn and score at 2 1/4, but I'm only scoring up to the first line. And then the next one is 2 5/8. So there's my 2 score lines there. You can use the trimmer for this bit, or you can use your scissors. It's only a tiny bit, so I'm going to use my scissors. And I'm just going to cut up. Actually, the best thing to do is to burnish these lines first, because then you've got the line to cut up to, and I find you can see it a bit better. You can't burnish these because you've only got them that side, but you can just push in on them so that you can see them better. And then just cut up those score lines. It might be better the other side, yeah. And I'm cutting up so that I'm just taking away the actual line I've scored so that it looks a bit neater. Go right up to the edge there. If you fold those back, then this is easier to cut across. Okay, so you've taken away the bit in the middle there. Okay, so that's really quite simple now to see the mechanism. So now I'm going to put in the piece of ribbon that you use to pull the inside mechanism out of the wrap. So you don't need a lot poking out, just a little bit so they can see which bit they're going to pull. I don't want the edge of this ribbon to fray anymore. It is fraying a little bit. So if you just take a lighter and just very quickly move that along, it will melt the edge and that will stop it fraying anymore. So it's quite a long piece, but I think it's worth getting it a long way in underneath your chocolate to make sure it doesn't pull off. So let's go for leaving a bit poking out of perhaps 3/4 of an inch. These are the scissors that I use for cutting sticky things. Okay, so let's just turn it this way so that I can get this centrally. There we are. So then you can go ahead and just pop down the Ritter Sport bars. So all you need to do is pop some double-sided tape on the back of all of these. And then take the backing tape off. And then place each of your bars evenly spaced into the sliding mechanism. So that's the mechanism finished inside. Okay, so now you make the wrap. The card for the wrap measures 4 7/8 by 6.5. Okay, so you need to bring your trimmer in, and we're placing it in the landscape orientation. So I'm starting off, and if I explain what I'm doing as we go along. So this is going to wrap around, okay? So the first score line I'm going to do is this bit at the side, okay? So that needs to be that width, which is 7/8 of an inch. If I pop that there, you'll see. So I need it to go up that side 7/8 of an inch. So if I move it up to 7/8, but I want it to be slightly bigger than 7/8, because if I only make it the same as that, it won't bend round. It needs a tiny little bit of extra room to bend round. So go up to 7/8 and then just a little bit more. So about halfway between that 16th mark, just tiniest little bit extra. Score and burnish. Let's move it across here to get onto a soft surface. Now I want to go from that scored line, I want to go to the 2-inch mark and a tiny little bit. Let's move it around that way because that will make it easier. So that was 2. So if I move it a teeny weeny bit more, bring it down. And score. Because it's got to go round here, and that's 2. Again, if I made that 2, it would be too tight. Let's just burnish that one now. So if I move that up to 7/8 and then just a teeny weeny bit more and score and burnish. So that's going up one side and along the other like this. And then I just want to do another just over 2 inches. So put that on the 2 inches and a tiny little bit more. So let's just burnish that one. And then if we wrap it round like so, it should fit tightly enough, but it will still slide. Okay, so let me just take just the corner of this off so that this is going to stick inside, and I just want to make sure it's not proud. I gave it a little bit extra when I measured because I wasn't sure exactly how much I'd need. but I knew I was going over a little bit to make sure I had enough card. So that's how it's going to glue. So let's just recap so that you understand how that worked, because I know it's a little bit complicated the way you have to do it on the scoring tool. That measurement was the spine, which is the same as this. So that needed to be 7/8 plus a little bit more to allow it to slide in and out. Okay, and then the next one needed to be the 2-inch width plus a little bit. So we scored 2 inches plus a little bit there. Then we measured the 7/8 plus a tiny weeny bit again, and then the 2 inches plus a little bit. And that allows you to have your wrap so that it's tightly fitting but will move. Now, I'm going to put the designer series paper on before I actually stick this down, because it's easier to apply when you can lean on a surface. And it's going on this piece here, and that's beside the full piece here, the full width. So that's a thinner one because that's the tab. Now I've chosen this gorgeous honeybee paper. Unfortunately, it has been retired. It's called Golden Honey Dsp. But my friend who I'm making this for absolutely loves bees. So I knew she'd appreciate that. And her favourite colour is yellow, which is why I've chosen the So Saffron cardstock. So now I can just simply fold that over and make sure I'm sticking the narrower piece inside. And I always use the Tombow multi-purpose glue when I'm making a box, because it's just so much stronger. I tend to use glue most of the time anyway, because it's much easier to work with. It gives you a little time, the wiggle room, as everyone talks about, which simply means time to wiggle it a little bit. So if, like the paper, sometimes you won't get it straight. So if you've got this glue, you put it down and it gives you a second or two to just manoeuvre it and slide it about. Whereas if you're using tear and tape or double-sided tape, whatever you like to call it, it's once it's down, it's difficult to pull it away. So that's the wrap made, and we know it's going to fit because we wrapped it round before we stuck it down. You might find it a little bit tricky just to get it in to start with, but it fits beautifully, as you can see. So that just pulls out like so. So to finish this one off, I've chosen this darling little banner die from this set here, and it's called Tasteful Labels Dies, and they've got some absolutely gorgeous little shapes in there. So that's the one I chose. I thought it was perfect for this gift. And then I've just made this little decoration. Again, I've used the So Saffron to match the box, and I stamped this from this stamp set. So it's that image there and one of the leaves. And to get that effect of the leaves being behind the flower, I stamped the flower first, and then I made a little mask just stamped on a piece of, this is Heffy Doodle. It's like Post-it note, but it's sticky all over, and it comes on a roll. Really brilliant. So I stamped it on there, cut it out. I popped it over my image, and then I stamped my leaves, so it looks like they're behind. And I'm going to pop this up using some dimensionals, which I did find the other day. So let's use just a couple of those behind my rose. That was my first stamp, and it was too dark, so I used the other side of the cardstock. Yeah, always remember, if you stamp an image and you're not happy with it, there's two sides to a piece of card, so simply turn it over and use the other side. And then you don't waste anything. On the dimensionals, when you've taken off all the little honeycomb shaped ones, there's this piece left at the end. Don't throw that away. You can use that, and it's really good when you're using a shape like this. So I'm going to cut this one in half and then use it there and there. And this gorgeous greeting. Oh, sorry. The thing I like about you is everything. I mean, that is just gorgeous, isn't it? And that comes from this stamp set, which is called Special Moments. And it's a free SALE-A-BRATION item. So this is free with any purchase of £45 or more. And it's chosen from this SALE-A-BRATION catalogue. So from the 4th of January to the 28th of February, we're running this promotion. And that's any purchases that you make in the mini catalogue or the annual catalogue. And the mini catalogue is available from January to the end of June 2022. Okay, so if there's anything you'd like to buy from the catalogues, do let me know and I can arrange that for you. So that's my little birthday gift to a friend, and I think she'll be really pleased with that one. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your support. If you could give me a thumbs up and share my video out with friends, I'd be really grateful. If you'd like to purchase anything from the Stampin' Up catalogue, you will see a link to the digital catalogues in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, you'll see that at the top of the page, there's a little button that says something like shop with me or shop now, something like that. And that will take you to my online Stampin' Up store. Okay, well, I hope to see you all again soon. And I wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.